Welcome to the first Area Bitcoin video for English speakers. And as you would expect this video, I'm going to tell the Bitcoin history and how it will change the world even more. Here in Area Bitcoin, we want to make it possible for more people to get to know Bitcoin and develop not just financial freedom, but also financial sovereignty. I'm Carol, co-founder of Area Bitcoin, the biggest Bitcoin school in the world. And prepare, because from now on, there will be plenty of Bitcoin content around here. Subscribe to the channel to stay on top of upcoming videos and share with anyone you think will benefit from this content. For you to understand the importance of Bitcoin and why it exists, we need to go back in time for 2008. In that year, one of the biggest economic crises started to crash the markets. While all of this mess was going on in the internet cryptographic forums, someone with the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto was discussing with other cypherpunks the creation of a decentralized global digital currency without borders and without intermediaries. So who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Nobody knows. Until today, it could be a person or it could be a group of people. The fact is that Satoshi was someone with many skills and many knowledge from technology, cryptography, economics, mathematics, and understood very well the fiat and the banking system. On October 29, 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published a project on the internet called a white paper with the title Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And what is the most surprising is that the whole idea and how Bitcoin works was described directly and simply in just 9 pages. Bitcoin was born as an encrypted digital currency independent of a government and that people could transact directly globally without needing a bank or any other financial institution. Bitcoin would be created from a computational process called mining, with a limit of 21 million units. It is the first time that humanity would have a mathematically scarce currency. 2 months later, after the project was published on January 3, 2009, Satoshi mined the first block of Bitcoin, called Genesis block. But the Bitcoin history is full of mysteries. It's not enough to have an anonymous person behind it all. There has to be a subliminal message. Satoshi left the message encrypted in the Genesis block code. The Times, January 3, 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This is the title of the cover of the British newspaper The Times on January 3, 2009. The story reports that All-Star Darling, the Chancellor of UK Army, was considering a second bailout for UK banks, which ended up happening a year later. This message suggests that Satoshi created Bitcoin as a form of protest against the endless printing money by central banks, causing inflation and poverty. And also the bailout of inefficient banks with the money they just printed, causing everyone to have purchase power diluted. In the same week, a programmer named Hal Finney became interested in helping to put the idea of Bitcoin in fiat. On January 11 of 2009, Hal Finney made an epic tweet, "Running Bitcoin," to announce the world that he was running the Bitcoin network and helping Satoshi to make some bug fixes. Also, Hal Finney received 10 Bitcoin from Satoshi to test sending as payments. He was the first person to receive a Bitcoin transaction. Today, 10 BTC is worth more than $300,000. But at that time, Bitcoin didn't even have a price. Unfortunately, Hal Finney had a degenerative disease and passed away in 2014, but the craziest thing is that this guy decided to freeze himself. And that's right, he's right now with his body frozen at a temperature of minus 200 degrees in an aluminum capsule in a nitrogen tank. But why did he decide to freeze himself? Could he be Satoshi Nakamoto and wants to come back in the future to see the progress of his creation? We don't know. The story of Bitcoin is really fascinating. Now, why is Bitcoin so admired? What makes it so different? Bitcoin has characteristics that are unique compared to all other currencies that exist in the world. Bitcoin is a decentralized currency, does not have a person or an institution controlling the issuance or making decisions. The rules are laid down in the Bitcoin source code and the project is totally open source. As Bitcoin is not from any country, it has no government or institution controlling it. And also it's a censorship-resistant currency. No one can prevent you from moving your balance, and no one can confiscate your Bitcoin if you store your keys in a correct way. Only 21 million Bitcoin units will ever exist, and they all will be issued by the year 2140. Today, 19 million BTC have already been mined and are in circulation in the market. Because it has a unit cap and a decrease in issuance of new coins, Bitcoin inflation is predictable and finite. No government currency have this level of precision in their monetary policy. Bitcoin's scarcity is what gives it confidence as a sound money. And if something is rare, valuable, and have more people demanding for it, the tendency for it is to increase in price through time. Bitcoin also is immutable. All transactions are recorded on a blockchain, and changing the Bitcoin blockchain is extremely difficult. This makes transactions much more transparent because anyone, you and I, can follow the transactions being carried out in real time on Bitcoin network. Oh, Carol, but everything is beautiful, everything is incredible, but what am I going to do with a digital currency like that? Bitcoin is a currency, a means of payment, a technology, and it's increasingly providing itself as a protective asset against the loss of purchase power that happens with fiat currencies and the asset related to them. This means that you can use Bitcoin to pay for service and products in daily basis, or keep it in your wallet as a store of value and also as insurance policy in case of traditional system fails. Since 2008, a lot has changed. When Satoshi started running Bitcoin, each coin worth zero. In 2017, Bitcoin was worth almost $20,000 and then plummeted in price. A lot of people say that it was a bubble and Bitcoin was dead. Today, companies are already seeing Bitcoin with different eyes and starting to buy it to have in their own treasuries, like MicroStrategy is doing. And this is one of the reasons why Bitcoin has skyrocketed and reached the value of $69,000 in 2021. And if you observe the history of Bitcoin, we are living again what Satoshi mentioned in the Genesis block: the printing of unbacked and infinite money by central banks. A banking crisis is happening right now, and the dollar is seeing its hegemonic power be threatened by other countries. It's the perfect time for Bitcoin to show its strength and to stand out. After all, it was made for moments like this. And that's why Bitcoin has been the best asset of 2023 globally so far, gaining more than 70% since January. So the coming years are promising for Bitcoin, and it's no longer possible to ignore an asset with the potential to transform the world economic scenario and the lives of so many human beings in the planet. There is no financial freedom without financial sovereignty, and Bitcoin makes anyone sovereign with their own money without the need for banks or third parties for it. You can be fully autonomous if you want to take responsibility for your future. Bitcoin is already changing the world and is set to change even more. Hope you have enjoyed this first video. Subscribe and share so this message can help many more people. See you next time and opt out.